you were live last night with Jordan for 3 hours and 45 minutes on your channel. We are live right now, by the way, on After Hours. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is After Hours, and we are here, me and Carlos. We're going to rack it up here for about an hour or so and see how the night goes. But last night, Carlos, you did a live stream last night with Jordan from the YouTube channel Sports Card Analytics.
Yep, that's right.
And you guys went, I mean, I thought that my episodes were long at 2 hours, sometimes 2:15. You know, we've gone a bit longer at times, but you went for 3 hours and 45 minutes last night with Jordan. I mean, I was in and out. I watched parts of it here and there.
Yep.
Was it, if I were to go back and watch the whole thing, was it like 3 hours and 45 minutes of continuous discussion, or were there lulls at all? It's just, that seems so funny. It seems so long to me, even though my shows are long. Like, I guess my question, how was it doing a stream for 3 hours and 45 minutes?
So I'm going to give an answer that is an honest answer, but it's going to sound odd. And the answer is piece of cake. Couldn't have been easier. And the reason for that is not because streaming for 3 hours and 45 minutes is easy. The reason is because I worked for 3 or 4 years working in a call center, and I was working for 12-hour shifts, talking for 12 straight hours. So 3 hours and 45 minutes is like, okay, so what else do you need? Do you need a second shift, a third? So, but what I would say though, key point, like I said, it's not exactly like that. So it was continuous because we were going. Actually, and I was saying to Jeremy offline is that right at about, if you do check out the stream at any point, I would recommend watching it either at faster speed or watching it in installments. It's 3 hours and 45 minutes, unless you got a lot of time in your hands. If you do, by all means, I watch YouTube content at 2x speed myself. So for me, it would be less than 2 hours. So that helps me, but I can hear people and it works for me. But what I would say to you is if you do watch it, you're going to notice that about the 2 hour mark, I actually try to give Jordan an out to try to wind it down. You know, I figured 2 hours was pretty good. We hit on most of the stuff I really wanted to talk about. I was content and happy with it, but he wanted to keep going. He wanted to power right through it. He wasn't interested in seeing the NBA Finals game. He just wanted to keep going. And I said, look, man, if you want to keep going and you got some stuff we want to, I actually had run out of stuff on my list to talk about, but I said, I know I can get something out of this. That's not an issue. So we found some stuff to talk about. It wasn't too, so there were really no lulls. It was just, I had to get really creative at the 2 hour mark because I'm like, well, technically I ran out of stuff that I was going to talk to you about, but I'll think of something right now on the spot.
Yeah. I had to turn it off for a bit, just, I have family stuff. And then I went back to the YouTube app on my phone and I'm like, oh, wow, it's still red. He's still live. So I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I can go watch Carlos for a little bit now, which was a nice surprise.
I did get the thing I will say to you is that there were folks in the chat that were there for almost the entire time. Like I saw the same names coming up over and over and over again. And I was like, you know what? If you guys are in, I'm in. Let's do it. Let's do it.
If you build it and they will come, well, then now you owe them a service of some sort if they're going to come, right?
The only thing I would say though, and this is just general advice. If any of you make content yourself or even thinking about it or whatever, you want to do a live stream, if you're going to do something that's like 3 hours plus, you would prefer to plan that out ahead of time. Not being impromptu. We got to 2 hours and what the heck, we'll go 2 hours more. That's not the path you want to go. Because if you plan it out, I would plan an intermission somewhere there. Find like a time to be like, all right, we'll be back in 5 minutes. Because that's what they do on Twitch streams when they're really long. They go, all right, I'm going to come back in about 5 minutes. We'll just leave the stream on and then we'll be right back. And then you put some kind of a thing on the screen because then you can go take a quick break. I was starving by the end of it. My problem was that I was hungry.
I bet, man. It was a long time. It was long. Okay, who we got? We got Eric here. Eric, welcome back. Bobby Burrell, great to see you, my friend. Yeah, Carlos. Not only Carlos says he can talk, Carlos can talk. You've noticed it in the last 3 minutes here alone. Carlos is a beast. I was there for the full 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Paul was
there. There you go, Paul.
Child's Play. It's
a Cosner length film. Yes, that's right. A Cosner length film. That's true. Good point. When you are doing what you love, time flies. That's been the theme of my show, really. I mean, at the 2 hour mark, it feels like we've been going for 20 minutes. I'll look up at the clock. It'll be like 45 minutes. It'll be like, what? I feel like we've been going for 10 minutes only.
Yeah.
Gilligan's Island was only a 3 hour tour. There you go. Welcome back, Simon. Simon says, name, woohoo, After Hours. Hello to you. Hello to you.
Name?
Brett puts it well. The 2 hour, Anyways, you're like, what are we going to talk about next? Well, we're not going to go for 2 hours right now, Carlos, but we do have a couple things to chat about. So one of the things I like to do on After Hours is sort of debrief the episode that just was and kind of pick a couple topics that we chatted about, that I chatted about with Jake in there. So you and I, we've kind of discussed. We have a couple. We want to touch on, the Jordan rookie, the whole thing with the XRCs or the pre-rookies and kind of what the deal is there. Doubles management, talk a little bit about that, and then a couple other topics as well. But let's start with the Jordan rookie. Before we do, though, I just want to get to back to Jeff, back for more. Best channel on you, man. You're making me blush. Maybe I should put on my hat for this. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but oh yeah, check that bad boy out.
He's got overlays and merch, people. It's happening.
Well, the merch was easy. I just a buddy of mine, a card buddy of mine, he's in the business, and he made me some hats and some shirts. But I love the hat because it's like this is actually stitched in, so it's like it's one of those real. It's a real deal, and I love it. It actually fits me. So
you can really tell when it's actually made and not just like a screen printed thing. That's when there's a little bit of work in it. It's a little bit better.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly. Not just the screen print. Jeff, though, great to have you back, man. Thank you so much. Richie, you're back. Good. Welcome. We're just starting After Hours. You missed a 2-hour episode with Jake Roy, but that'll be in the archives. You can check that out later. Billy says he agrees with Carlos. Look at a guy like Joe Rogan. He, for the most part, isn't telling his guests that they're doing 2 hours. The interview lasts until it's over. Sometimes they go short, sometimes over.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. What I do with my show is the goal is I'm kind of now targeting 2 hours. I don't want to go over it too much because it gets late and I get tired. But I'm willing to go under and I'm willing to go a bit over. 4 hours would be tough, but you never know.
Usually the guest will help you. They'll give you a little bit of feedback. I try to get a little bit from them and go, hey, where are you comfortable? Because sometimes it's like if I know already ahead of time where we're going to go, I can adjust the speed of the conversation to get us to a good spot.
And the amount of bullet points on the agenda. I ask all my guests ahead of time a couple of key questions. One is, these shows usually go 2 hours. Are you good with that? And the second one is there anything you just don't want to talk about? Because I do want to respect all my guests and make sure that they're not sort of caught off guard like a deer in headlights anytime or them to be uncomfortable. Those are two big things I'm pretty serious about when I plan out these shows. We want merch. I got hats and I got shirts. I don't have them priced. I don't know what I'm doing with them exactly yet. I only ordered 12 of each, and I've already made 2 of the hats mine, so I'm down to 10 of those, I guess you could say. Because I already misplaced one. I don't know where it is. My kids probably hit it on me.
But don't misplace the one you offered to send me for free, Jeremy. Come on.
That must be the one. That must be the one.
Yeah, probably.
Overlays, merch. Next will be top 5 picks and Patreons. I vow never to do a Patreon. That's my vow. And now it's public record.
I was gonna say, okay.
Wait, hold on. Maybe I should never.
I was gonna say the top 5 picks. The top 5 picks I would commit to. The Patreon, you never know.
You never.
It's like we started with overlays, then we got to merch. It's like it's a slippery slope, Jeremy. It's a slippery slope.
I'm okay doing top 5 picks because if I do top 5 picks, my top 5 picks aren't going to be guys who haven't, played a game. It's going to be guys it's not going to be rookies. It's going to be guys who are like actually worthy of investment, let's say, because that's what people are looking for. If you're looking for a top 5 pick, you don't know who you want to collect for yourself, which is fine.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, or you don't know who you want to invest in, I'll do top 5s, but no, not plural. Maybe the odd one, and it would have to probably stick to hockey. What does Paul say? I have to say, Jeremy, I like the 5 questions. I'm always curious, especially with the older hobbyists. I think it was Rich Klein. I asked if he had any whales to see if there is anything left to collect. I'm glad you're liking it, Paul. To be honest, I'm not sure how it's going over, but it's kind of fun to have some segments throughout the show. I'm enjoying the segments. Overlays aren't cheap. Might need the Patreon. They're free, but they take me some time to do. I'll admit they take time, even though they look simple. They do take some time to make. After hours is a slippery slope, Carlos.
Yep.
This whole thing's a slippery slope, right?
It's done.
Oh,
It's over.
Jake's in the house. Jake, welcome back. Good to see you. Yes, I know Jake has merch on his channel. I've seen his.
I was gonna say you gotta get some tips. Jake, by the way, good job on the episode. There was some good stuff on there. I was listening in, but I was also kind of peering over to the UFC fights because they were on.
There you go.
You gotta multitask, but a great episode, guys. Great episode.
I appreciate the feedback, Carlos. I appreciate you giving it directly to my guest of earlier. That's very nice. What's this? Billy, I would say you should cut your shows up a little bit, maybe even just the SCL5, post a 5-minute clip the day after a 2-hour show to get more. I know exactly what you're saying.
There was a little bit of that earlier on. You were doing a couple of like clips of certain specific things. It's one thing, like your point's valid, but just bear in mind that also like we have day jobs.
Yeah, well, that's just it. I did some highlights, a couple episodes, and then I just don't have the time to do like any post-production work, really. Yeah. I'd love to, and you're totally right on that, Billy. I mean, it would reach more people. The good stuff would reach more people. More
you can attach it to like Instagram stuff if it's like a shorter clip. Like there's a lot of great stuff. It's one of those things. There's not enough hours in the day. there just aren't.
Yeah, no, that's all it comes down to for sure. Ernie says trivia contests for hats or t-shirts. Yeah, but then you got to pay to get into the trivia contest, right? Here's the thing about the show. It's not really monetized. Like so the YouTube channel's monetized, which means that they owe me like probably works out to about $10 a week, maybe. So it's not much. The merch, I put out some real money on the merchandise. It's I don't know. Part of me wants to give it away. The other part of me says I think I should charge for it. So, it's tough. I don't know. I might just keep it all for myself because hey, I got 12 shirts. I'll go through 12 shirts. 12 hats, maybe not so fast, but we'll see. We'll see. Top 5 picks: Jordan, LeBron, Gretzky, Babe Ruth, Bull. I thought that should say LOL, not BOL.
I didn't hear Mike Trout on that list. Come on.
He's not there either. Brad says
he shouldn't be on that list.
No.
I wouldn't even replace Ball with Mike Trout.
Oh. I like the show and tell. I'd like to see closer up shots of the cards. Can some be pre-scanned and then given their own screen? That's a good point, Brett.
That's possible.
It's possible. It's just that much more work to do it, to coordinate with the guest. If I was doing one show a week, I'd say no problem. With 2 shows a week, 2 guests, 3 with after hours, planning, it's a lot of work, I will say. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's tough to bite off more right now. Jake, thanks. I look forward to any and all honest feedback. Happy to help you with merch. I'll be in touch with you, Jake. You can give me some tips on that for sure. Yeah, Jake's with me. I wish I had time to create clips of my shows. Mm-hmm. Same here. What? Amit isn't on the list. Amit should be on all top 5 shows for sure, right? All top 5 lists.
I'm having him on my show, and I'm not sure he's going to make the top 5 during the show. I don't want to build up his ego too much. Like, settle down. Listen, settle down.
Easy, Carlos. Bobby.
So he's agreeing. Bol should stay on the list.
Exactly.
That's what I got out of that comment.
Of course he should be. So let's talk about the one of the topics from the episode with Jake, Carlos. Mm-hmm. That came up, and we talked about it quite a bit, especially with the viewers, was the status of these XRCs, these Jordan XRC cards from Star, from that Jewel sticker card, the Nike postcard card. Yep. I mean, these things came out before the Fleer card. Mm-hmm. They are playing days cards, but they're not pack pulled. They're not widely distributed. They're not. They miss some of the criteria that the traditional definition of a rookie card requires. Mm-hmm. What's your opinion on those things as far as their status as being an actual true rookie card?
So I spoke a little bit about that on the video, but the stuff like the Star Rookie and stuff like that are kind of they're one of the things that I kind of tried to get across in that video was that there's some serious outlier cases. I don't know if you did get a chance to scan that video. I showed a bunch of examples where it's like these are things where you could make a legitimate argument for them. The struggle is, are they or are they not? I even used stuff that was pack pulled, nationally distributed and everything. And I showed like, technically this is not considered a rookie card. Why? And then there's these little gray areas. As far as the Star Rookie is concerned, the tricky part has always been that it's not pack pulled. But the thing is, if you get the team set inside of that bag, could that bag be a pack? We get a little bit into semantics, but like, what is a pack?
A pack.
No, don't shake your head because a pack is not defined.
Well, I'm shaking my head in my opinion because to me, a pack has the intrinsic within the concept of a pack is the unknown of what's inside.
Fair enough, but says who? That was never defined anywhere.
No, it says me.
Fine.
For me.
So according to you, it's not a rookie card. But the thing is, a pack is short for package.
Yeah, well, sure. Okay.
Package could be a box. Package could be Christmas wrapping. Like, it doesn't make any difference. So the thing is, I get your point. The thing that I think takes the star rookie out is the national distributed part of it, not the pack pulled. The national distributed is what makes it tricky.
That's fine. The not being nationally distributed for sure is important to me.
Yeah, and that's why there's multiple criteria.
We don't need to get into the what a pack is a package. Let's just call it an object, a unit. Sure. A unit of cards that are being printed and distributed one way or another. Yeah. To me, pack pulled means that you don't know what's inside. Now, that may not be 100% applicable, because you still have things like master collections where it's still licensed, but those don't come out.
Well, what about a factory sealed set? You know exactly what's in it.
Yeah, see, that's where it doesn't.
That's what I'm trying to get at. My point is that
there are differences. There are outliers for all of these things for sure.
Correct.
You can't find. It's like you've said, Carlos. Number one, you're not going to get consensus.
No.
Number two, it's great. It's a thinking experiment more than anything.
Yes.
As far as let's just hone in on the Jordan cards.
Yeah, sure.
One more time for a second. The star cards were not. Number one, they didn't come out. Well, I guess they could be called the factory set, because that was a fact. Each thing was a team set.
That's what I'm trying to get at. It's murky.
Were they licensed? I think they were licensed. I'm not 100% sure.
To at least a limited degree. So
really, where they fall then, because I can see the argument on the pack pulled thing. Maybe that doesn't apply to the star card, in that you could say they're pack pulled because they came out of a cellophane pack, but you knew exactly what was in there. They were see-through.
Yep. And I've got another one for you in that same vein. Same vein, exact same concept. Stuff that was available pack pulled, that was nationally distributed. Do you remember those like team sets that you could buy at the store? So like it would be that year's set, and it would be just a specific team. And if a rookie was inside,
it's just a different packaging of cards that were pack pulled. So
there was nothing random about it. You knew exactly what team it was.
Yeah, and you could get the rookie card out of there. So
correct.
The final like definition, I think it's you need to consider all these different methods of distribution and really decide. Figure out first, you have to identify what the appropriate criteria are, and then you have to compare each method to these criteria and decide if they fit. Terry mentions rack packs, right? They're see-through, but they're randomly packaged, right?
But they also have a sequence. But in fairness, they also have a sequence. So because it's a rack pack, you can figure out the sequence and you know exactly what's in it.
You can figure out the sequence with a lot of products, though. It's still meant to be a surprise to the random.
I get it.
Pack, right? I
get it.
Yeah. Bobby says vintage is far easier to determine.
Agreed.
Agree. Yeah, of course. We also have members only type of sets. Yeah, there's so many. Does the power and prestige of the Fleer rookie card push the argument towards Star not being a rookie? I'll just say, first of all, that nothing about the Fleer card should have any impact on whether or not the Star card is a rookie or not.
That is fair.
I don't think. All right. I think they should be mutually exclusive. However, once you identify one card as a rookie, you almost have to consider that to decide if another card can be the rookie. So,
yeah.
But I think it's almost the other way around in this case. First, you determine, is the Star card the rookie? Because if it is, then the Jordan card isn't. But, you can get into the Mantle card as well. The 52 tops. A lot of people think it's a rookie, even though it clearly isn't because of the 51 Bowman. But hobby majority kind of says otherwise.
Yeah. So for Brett, real quick before we leave that example, Brett, the key thing about this one is that at the time there was no prestige. Fleer didn't really mean anything in the mid 80s. They were just the one who was producing cards at the time. Now, what helps them is that they were distributed a little bit more evenly. They were distributed in a more traditional fashion, more nationally, as opposed to the Star cards where it depended on where you lived. And that's what made it kind of tricky. It's like, if you were in the right place, you could have gotten all the Jordan Star cards you wanted. And another part of the country, no dice.
And they've been valuable from the beginning too. They've been they've been hunted and collected since as long as basketball cards have been popular.
For sure.
I remember back in the late 80s, early 90s, that card was considered as important, I think, as the Fleer. If my memory serves me, pretty much as important as the Fleer card was. So it's an interesting topic, and maybe it's one of those that it's there's a comment here about it being, Paul says, I'd argue Star it's a gray area. There weren't packs available. So that's an interesting way of putting it. There weren't packs available in that you couldn't go to a store, find a box of 36 packs and buy one. Mm-hmm. You had to buy the pack itself as the unit. Whereas, so that's a criteria that I would want to apply to it. For me, that criteria applies.
So that beautiful cop out that I always have, Paul, the problem about the consensus thing is some people would say like, okay, who cares? Because again, we got factory says now packs weren't available. You're right. But again, pack is short for package. Package could be almost anything you want. Even those little cellophane see-through things.
You know what, Carlos? Wax pack isn't short for package. No, the package part, the package is wax pack, wax package. I hear you.
Wax is a material.
Wax refers to the method of displaying and distributing the cards themselves, how they're wrapped and how they're wrapped again. Mm-hmm. We call it wax, and that's almost its own type of package. Mm-hmm. And therefore, that's a way out of it right there.
I'm not, guys, I'm playing devil's advocate to a certain degree, but I'm pointing out why this is so tricky.
Yeah,
that was the point of the video, and that is the point of this part of the conversation. I'm just saying to you,
so tricky.
It's not so obvious. It's not as easy as you think.
No, and semantics do come into play. Like when I say pack and Carlos says pack is short for package, that's the kind of direction that you need to go to if you want to have a really well thought out dialogue on the topic and have your best chances at maybe coming to a logical conclusion on it. Let's keep going though. Mm-hmm. You also stick by unopened team bags. Sorry, Simon, don't. Oh, and you also still buy unopened team bags.
Yep.
Rack packs, members only, vintage. Sorry, I'm just getting through the comments here. Excuse me. What about e-pack exclusive or non-licensed? To me, if something like e-pack exclusive, to me, e-pack is a new way of mass distribution. It comes out of a virtual pack. To me, good. As far as rookie RC definition would apply, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Star have Jordan pictures from rookie season in Bulls uniform, and we can now freely buy these cards if we choose. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, I will say, Simon, what you're describing here is kind of the conclusion I came to in the video. What I said is that the consensus is going to be tricky. I gave what I'm comfortable with for myself. None of you are bound by that. None of you are bound by Jeremy's definition. But the other thing is, to your point about freely buy what you choose, you're right. I like some of the rookie parallels, but I call them rookie parallels. I don't call them rookie cards. But some people, they're rookie cards. It really depends on what makes you happy. To me, they're rookie parallels, and I still like them. So I still collect them. But I personally don't consider them rookie cards.
See, for me, a rookie card that has a parallel, I consider the parallel to be, I give it RC. Personally, to me, I'm happy with it. To me,
and there are other people that will agree with you. That's what I mean.
But most don't. That's one where I'm certainly in the minority, and I'm okay with being in the minority.
That's fine.
Approach it.
Then I have a lot of soda rookie cards about 5 feet from me. Then.
Yeah, and and I would consider them all to be rookie cards. I'm sure. Maybe back in the 80s, Star was given more credit as a rookie. I don't remember it that way, Brett. I remember it the same way as it is now. It was always the XRC. But it was still important, just as it is today. Very important.
If you're Jordan, to put a button on this, if you're a Jordan collector, you still want the card. So it's like if you're a Jordan collector, like a Jordan diehard collector, you want this card.
Yeah.
Whether it's an XRC, an RC, or whatever, you want it because
they're rare. They're rare, and they are earlier cards. The card stock is much weaker. It's a very flimsy card. I don't like that about it, but
to me, it's a legit card. Whatever you consider it to be, it's a legit card. It was produced legitimately. It is a card.
And that's why Beckett gives it the XRC versus ignoring it altogether.
Correct.
Okay. Richie says, could you imagine the uproar if a body like Beckett came out and decided the Star was the true rookie and the Fleer wasn't? Food for thought. Yeah, I mean,
they had a chance in the 80s if they had gone the other way.
Yeah,
they could have.
They can't. I can't see it happening now. But the hobby itself, because Beckett is not the hobby. Beckett is one group of people's opinions and historical thoughts on things. But it's certainly not the law or the way it has to be. What does Joe say? He says, I think one issue with Star is the counterfeit point. Not everyone felt comfortable with Star issues due to some of the shady those cards are notorious for having been counterfeited. Bobby Burrell says everything got complicated after wax ended and we went to foil and wrap.
One quick point on Joe's statement. Kind of stuff. Yeah, one quick point on Joe's statement. It's not like the 86 Fleer isn't counterfeited though. Like it's very much a counterfeited card. The problem was they had trouble figuring out which stars were counterfeited, but the 86 Fleer is totally a counterfeited card as well.
Yeah. Frankie, we're still talking about that rookie card. Welcome back, but we're just about to wrap it up. And our basic conclusion is we don't know. I mean,
good luck.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. There's so many differing opinions and differing criteria. So we'll have to leave it to people smarter than us. Simon, I consider all rookie cards from a player's rookie season as rookie cards, but that's me. 100% fair. No issue with that position. Is it safe to assume that after 34 years, the market has reached consensus? No, it's not.
Absolutely
safe.
Not.
It's not safe, Billy. It's just not.
But thanks, Simon. I have so many Soda rookie cards right now. You have no idea how many I have right now within arm's reach.
Has a player's consensus rookie flip-flopped in value with a different year ever? Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Simon says there's also lots of 86 Fleer counterfeits too. Yes, there are for sure. Yep. All right, enough of that. I can't take any more of that conversation at this point. Carlos, you mentioned to me that Jake mentioned, he collects Penny Hardaway. He wants every Hardaway card from the 90s, and he also wants one of every insert card from the 90s.
That's right.
And you referred to those as Mount Everest goals.
Correct.
What did you want to, you kind of found that interesting. How did you want to debrief that particular? Oh, before you do though, I just want to bring this up right here. Sorry. Yeah. But Frankie says, well, food for thought. There are an estimated 4,000 star sets printed for the XRC. So that's a very small number. I think that's
why I'm saying is that was why my point was, as a Jordan collector, if I was a Jordan collector, I still want one.
Yeah.
If I can get a legit copy, I want it.
Yeah.
To me, it's a good card. I want it.
Yeah. No, it's a highly desirable card. There's no doubt about it.
Yes.
Okay. Let's keep. I think for rookie card collectors like myself, I'm content with the 57. The number. I'm content with the 87.
If you can get the 57 Jordan rookie, that's awesome.
I think his rookie card is number 57. That might be why I said it. I think so. But I'm content with the 86 for me.
Yeah.
We got Rodman in the house. He says, can you guys touch on the baseball market rookie card prospect year versus debut year on major league? So let me start because I have very little to say on this, but I know Carlos can speak to it greatly. So my understanding, just to set the context, is that you got these Bowman prospect cards that come out every year.
First Bowman and stuff like that. Yeah.
And in baseball, there's a large contingent of people. I see them in the National every year, and that's what they do. It's called prospecting, right? They prospect on these prospects. But then, like all these Trout cards that are selling are 2009s when his rookie year is 2011, his actual RC, because he's in a major league uniform. The earlier ones are not major league uniforms. So to me, the 2011 is the rookie card. The 2009 is an XRC because he wasn't in the major leagues yet. And I'm a major league collector. I don't collect minor league stuff. So those are my thoughts on that. Much easier to talk about that than the Jordan Star, because the Jordan Star was still a major league card.
Yeah, he was also already playing in the NBA.
Right. Other differences. So I'll stop talking. Carlos, I'll let you address this more for Rodman from the baseball perspective. Because Rodman is, I don't know if you know Rodman, but he's a heavy basketball guy. Amazing collection. One of the top Jordan collectors I've ever come across. And one of the nicest dudes in the hobby too. If you could just give him some info on what you're on the baseball side of things.
I think what it really comes down to, Rodman, is that the prospect. So think like the first Bowmans, and like I'll use Soto as an example just because I've done a little research into it. So like the autograph, like first Bowman cards and stuff like that, they're highly desirable. I almost put it into the Star XRC category, even though it's a different thing. It's a card, but in this case, it's a card that predates the player playing in the major leagues. For me, it's not a rookie card. For me, it's a highly desirable card because in Major League Baseball, you can totally have minor league cards. I'll use a different player, Carlos Delgado. He's one of my favorites from the Blue Jays years ago. He started his rookie card is 1992, but you can get minor league cards as far back as 1989, 1988. Those are not rookie cards. Otherwise, if they were, then, if Mike Trout had a little league card when he was 8, then I guess that's a rookie card because you could just go infinitely. But to me, it's like, even though he's in a not a major league uniform, but a professional uniform because they're still playing professional ball. To me, it's not a rookie card because we're not in the major leagues yet. Like I said, there are legitimately minor league cards for even a Trout as well that predate that. You could go further back if you want to. If you really want to just go like, well, he's in a professional uniform. Well, then we got to go back to 2006, 2005. How far back do you want to go? It gets really tough because, all right, it's kind of cool. It won't be nationally distributed because most of those minor league sets were distributed by the team, however they decided to distribute it. Or they gave it away at the stadium when you showed up to the right game. I don't consider them rookie cards. To me, it's like, if you've at least played one major league game and you're considered a major leaguer and you've played something, you're a rookie, we're good to go. Let's just go from there. At least that's an easier distinction for me.
Here's some info on Delgado from some local Frankies in Puerto Rico there.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Would not doubt it for 1 second.
Yeah.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Terry brings up the World Junior rookies in hockey from the early 90s. To me, yeah, I mean, they're in the major sets. They're not professional players yet, but they're in those major leagues. They're in the major league sets. And to me, they are rookie cards.
I use an example of that. I use one specific example. So, and you guys can look this one up if you're not familiar with it. 97, 98, Zenith Hockey, Roberto Luongo's rookie card. He's in a Team Canada jersey. Yeah. It's in the set. He's considered. Now, here's the weird part about that set.
His Black Diamond card from the same year is also a Team
Canada, correct. Now, that is considered rookie. The small version of the Zenith is considered rookie. The big version is not considered a rookie.
Well,
they both came out of the pack.
That's just that's an oversight, if anything, I think.
But I'm just reporting the news. I didn't make it.
Well, yeah, the news. Okay, yeah. If it's news, but I hear what you're saying. It's just other people's opinions.
Yeah,
but
I get it. It's always been an oddity to me. It's always been an oddity to me, given the nature of that specific series. It just was an oddity that it was always kind of interesting.
Yeah, yeah. And then you can get into, well, some of those players have 2 cards in that set, but let's not get into. We've covered that before.
Yeah,
it's interesting stuff in any way you want to look at it.
Yeah.
If anyone else out there, you want any more kind of comments or questions on this whole rookie card topic, which is a fun topic, even though we're never gonna, get consensus on it. I don't think we will, but it's certainly, it's a great discussion topic. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I'll watch the comments on that. Yeah, you got something, Carlos?
Sorry, one more thing I wanted to mention. Same guy, Luongo again, rookie year. The Beehive, he was in his CHL uniform. Like, just think about that, and that's considered a rookie because it was in a major league set, and it was CHL Stars. It was his rookie card, year, all of it.
And what's Eric Lindros wearing on his 1990 score rookie? I don't think he's wearing a jersey in that.
You got it.
Card.
Yep, you got it.
And that was very important rookie card in its time.
We've done a lot of weird stuff. Is the point? All the point I was trying to get across. We've done some weird stuff.
That one will be a lot like the Lafreniere. So Alexis Lafreniere is going to be the first pick overall in the NHL entry draft coming up, and he's going to be drafted number 1 by the New York Rangers, and he's going to come out in Upper Deck Series 1. They've already confirmed that. But he's not going to be in a Rangers. Well, he might be in a Rangers jersey, but then it'll be a photo shoot. They might take him put him in a Team Canada jersey because they have those photos available and use that. But at the end of the day, if he's not in a Rangers jersey, now it's more similar to those early 90s cards that we've been talking about already, where they're like Teemu Selanne and Peter Forsberg.
The only reason I use those examples,
real Hall of Famers that have their rookie cards in their national jerseys, we might see it again for the first time since the NHL created a rule that no player can be in an NHL licensed product until they've played at least a game in the NHL. So we are now going to see an exception to that and go back for the first time since the early 90s or the mid 90s, I guess.
Correct. Yep. So the only reason, like I said, guys, the only reason I brought it up was not to muddy the waters, but the reason I brought it up is the point is we've changed our mind on this over time and out of necessity. This is the way the set was built. So if you didn't want to acknowledge it, then you'd have to acknowledge the following year, and it's just weirdness. And that's just the way it worked out. And we can't use precedent because as soon as we use precedent, then we have contradictory data.
There's always new precedents, and you know what? I've said it before. Like just like everything, the hobby is evolving, and you know what's really evolving are the products are evolving. The company, the manufacturers are becoming more creative, and their distribution methods are they're adding additional methods to distribution. You know, it is evolving, and along with it, we as a hobby community need to evolve. And always, you know, we should. I think it makes sense for us to look back and question these long-standing traditional rules and really poke them and say, do they still need to apply today? Okay. Sure. A couple comments here, a couple more examples you guys have been putting out there. I do appreciate that's pretty awesome. Eric says, you know, you have Topps Heritage Minor League cards as well. Yep. You know, Billy mentioned the Lafreniere. He would maybe be in Team Canada or his junior Rimouski jersey, but I think he'll be. I kind of hope he's in a Rangers jersey if it comes out before the draft.
They could always airbrush it if they really wanted to.
Yeah, they could airbrush. O-Pee-Chee Chrome, Scott Gomez,
very much so.
Gomez in a CHL jersey. Yeah, that well put there. There's also Billy Guerin, Parkhurst XRC. Yep. But that came out in a separate set. Did that not come out in a box set that was only available in a box? It was like a high number series. It was a small box, I remember.
I feel like that's true. It's been a while, obviously, you know, back to 92, 93. I think that's right. I think it came in a slightly different distribution method, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think you could pull that, but it was the continuation of a like the card sequence continued from the pack pulled cards. Mm-hmm. Yep. There's another method that needs to be considered. What if that scenario happens? Yep. To me, it's as good as a rookie card. That was the one when I was chasing the rookie card of all the hockey players. I wanted his Parkhurst XRC. To me, that was the key rookie card. Simon says it's all very individual. At the end of the day, there are just more cards for player collectors to collect. Very true. Upper Deck could organize a prospects game for photo purposes, considering the first games might not start until January. Well, you really, I mean, that's a big ask Billy, to assume Upper Deck could just organize a prospect game. Well, easier said than done.
Considering that you're going to have a lot of considerations in January to get the NHL players to play some, they might have to start in a bubble.
Yeah, and
at that time, they're not going to do a photo shoot. Not for a photo shoot.
I would actually say they could not do that. I think that's just not possible.
They would laugh at Upper Deck for trying that.
Yeah. Jeff asks, is the Lindros RC the one batting in a Blue Jays jersey? No, it is not. That is not the one. That's actually a baseball card.
Yeah.
With Lindros batting in it. A cool card. I love that card back in the day.
Isn't that like I think that's like Score Baseball, I believe.
It's
like one of the Score Baseball. Yeah.
It is. But in 1991 Score Hockey, the last card in the set, I believe, was it was called a Future Superstars card.
Yeah,
and
it was in Oshawa Generals uniform.
Oshawa Generals jersey. That's right. His junior team. But every other card in that set, almost every other card in that set was NHL jersey, I believe. I can't remember. There might have been some other rookies that weren't. But Simon, Jason Dominguez cards are huge, and he is still a teen yet to play in the majors for the Yankees. Reminds me of Brian Taylor back in the early 90s.
The thing with Jason Dominguez is there's just nothing else available. So right now, if you're excited about Jason Dominguez, you got to buy what's there.
Right. The stuff will be there. The stuff will come out eventually. Yeah, Parkhurst update. I believe that's where the Guerin was from.
I believe.
Love the idea of an old school O-Pee-Chee airbrush job of Lafreniere. That'd be hilarious. But
I would love it if it was like a really bad airbrush, where it's like so obvious that they airbrushed it. That'd be.
I don't think we're gonna see a bad one of those though. And Jonathan Chichu is another guy in O-Pee-Chee Chrome. Yeah, name we know that card pretty well.
Yep.
Bobby, who is the expert in vintage hockey, says there comes a point that some base rules have to come in for rookie card status. What are those rules? And
I got you. Here we go. I think we can get consensus. The card has to be made out of material that is matter that is somewhere on the periodic table.
There you go.
If you can manage that, it can be a rookie card. There you go, Bobby. I've solved it. We're done. We've done it.
Yeah. It's got material in it.
It has to have atoms. So if it has atoms, we're good.
We're good.
That's the best I can do, Bobby. I'm sorry. That's the best I can do.
Hey, you know what? That's the only thing that everyone can agree on. So
if you don't agree on that, I can't help you at that point. Like I'm excommunicating you from the hobby because at that point I can't help you. You will not defy science on my watch here.
Here's another comment. Is 1991 or 1994 Upper Deck Michael Jordan? I think he's talking about the baseball card. Considered a rookie card since he already has one in a different sport.
Yeah, okay, let me take this question and let me take it for serious intellectual exercise for just a second.
Go ahead.
Imagine for a second Michael Jordan had actually become a Major League Baseball player. He had actually become a Major League Baseball player, had actually played some Major League Baseball. Then I feel like you got an argument. That'd be kind of interesting because if he had actually played some Major League games and decided to become a two-sport athlete for a while, like if he had legitimately done it, because there is a Bo Jackson baseball rookie and there is a Bo Jackson football rookie.
Same with Neon Dion.
Yeah, so like I feel like there's an argument to be made if he had actually become a Major League Baseball player for like the White Sox. I feel like then it's legit. Then you can make that argument. Otherwise, it's just a fun novelty.
There you go. Yeah, that's a tough one on the Jordan. First of all, the Jordan card, and here we go into real specific technical like angles, is that it's not even numbered in the set. It's like an SP1 or something like that. So it's an insert, first of all, which a lot of people say is not rookie card possible. So if it was part of the, you know what, if that card, Carlos, was part of the base set numbering, then to me it would have to be considered a rookie card if it's his first baseball card in a legitimate baseball card set.
Okay, even but he's not but he was never outside of the minor leagues. He never really became a baseball player.
But that's fine. You have rookie cards of people who never really played this. He attempted it. It's not like he was a fan, fans of the game or something like that. He actually tried to play. No,
I got you. But you, at the very minimum, you had to have played a major league game to have a Major League Baseball rookie card.
Is that the fact? Is that 100%?
I'm pretty sure to actually have a rookie card, you actually had to have set foot on a field and performed in some capacity.
Brian Taylor has a card. Did he ever actually play for the Yankees?
I don't know if he played for the Yankees. Let me look it up.
Brien. Just if you're gonna.
I know the guy you're talking about.
Okay. You never know, man. He was a flash in the hobby pan several years ago. While you're doing that, Terry, Carlos puts the science into cardboard. He sure does.
We did it.
Frankie, my baseball years don't count. How many Francisco Gonzalez baseball players have there been? Probably like half a dozen that have rookie cards, right?
Yeah, there you go.
E-Pack rookie cards realized isn't matter though. Well, but yeah, I know you're joking, but you can get them delivered. Yeah,
there is at some point a physical card. So we do meet the matter criteria eventually, Richie, potentially. We can meet the matter criteria.
Frankie says the 1991 card is more of a promo card than anything. So is that the SP1 is that the Upper Deck card was 91 or was that, I think it was, wasn't it?
I believe that's right.
I think it was. So I think that's what he's talking about. ComC Barry in the house. Barry runs the ComC office in Canada. Says 405 in the game franchises has XRCs like Michel Briere from an update set, which are still waiting for rookie cards 15 years later. So maybe if you don't get in the game, you get an XRC. Yes, the SP1. Thank you for clarifying. I love that the 30 of us watching can just pull off the tip of our tongues all these examples of strange kind of query RC examples. Yes.
Yeah.
We are hardcore hobbyists, no doubt.
That was so Richie, that was the whole point of that video where I came up with a bunch of obscure, weird example because the point of that whole thing was just like, guys, it's weird. It's difficult. Like every time we think we've nailed down a definition, we can find an exception. We can find something that's odd but are you sure this is not? Because it meets all the other criteria. And that's the problem you run into is like, you can find an exception. I promise you.
Yeah, that's the thing. To really put this whole rookie card discussion into context and really to frame it appropriately, you need to know really all the different variables that have been put out there already in cards, all the different methods and everything. And there's got to be hundreds of them by now. So it'd be quite the exercise for sure. Bobby says, but nothing will be defined after all this talk. No, nothing will be defined.
Well, except the matter part, Bobby. I think we've nailed down the matter. I think
we know it has to consist of matter. It cannot just be a virtual card.
Correct. I'm comfortable with that.
For sure. I wanted to get to where was it here? Did I put this one up? The 1991 card is more of a promo card than anything.
Yep.
What do we have? Dave Kaplan. Welcome, Dave. Many of those Bowman baseball guys in the early 90s, 92 to be exact, had never played a game before they had cards. They were just draft picks. I think the rules were changed after that, though. Because the rules did change here and there. And I can't think back to that. I can't confirm nor deny that, Dave.
Yeah. As far as I can tell, I think you're right about the Brian Taylor thing, but he never played a major league game. So it's one of those deals where they made a card. To me, it wouldn't be, because I'm like, well, what are your rookie card of? Because you had in that case, you did in fact have minor league cards, and he only got to the minor league. So I'm like,
but they put him in the major league set. Right?
I guess so.
Yeah. So is that a rookie card or not?
So then should we collect the San Diego Chicken rookie card? Should we collect, everybody that's ever made it onto a major league card?
God, that's funny because you're almost joking, but you're not.
I'm not joking. Like the problem is, as soon as you do that, anything could be.
Well, who's to say the San Diego Chicken didn't have aspirations to be a player one day?
I can't prove that definitively, Jeremy. And the card's made out of matter. So as far as I'm concerned, the matter is settled.
I know it's tough to do. It's tough to do for sure. Here we go. Kendrick Nunn for the Miami Heat got a Prism rookie update card in Chronicles. So is that considered a true rookie? I don't know.
See the dark web we've weaved here. The dark web.
It's tough. There. Do you guys have any insight on PSA raising prices and eliminating economy level grading to work on their backlog? Do you think it'll work? My insight is that I've heard, I got the email from them. So yes, they've basically followed what Beckett has done. And, it's one of those things where it sucks for us. I've got 300 cards here waiting to go get graded. Now I just might go by one touches instead and be almost as happy and not even bother, I think what's going to happen though, is that you're going to see graded cards go up in value simply because they're harder to get now. Graded cards as a thing is going to be harder to get because they cost more to get. And
I think it'll really affect the low end cards, because the low end cards, you factor in the grading cost, all of a sudden they're a lot more interesting. Where I think it works is that it makes you hesitate on those $5 and $10 cards that you're trying to push to $50 or $60. Suddenly it's not worth it. Exactly. The big bulk orders on that really low end stuff. If you got a Mike Trout Superfractor for some reason in a different year or whatever, you'll probably still send it in because there's money to be made.
It doesn't work as well for the cheaper cards now. The expensive cards, you're still going to get graded.
You're still going to do it
for the most part. Yes. As far as the cheaper cards go, like I bought a graded card on eBay a few weeks ago for like $9. I'm like, well, how can I say no to that? You can't even get it graded for a third of that. So, in Canada anyway, unless you're going for the bulk deal, and then it's still $15, $20 by.
And now for your collection, you need the San Diego Chicken rookie card. So get on that.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Sure. Dave Hart, hello to you. Welcome. Brian, I have the Jordan baseball card. It wouldn't break my heart if the hobby decided it was some crazy first RC and worth 100K. Of course it wouldn't, but that card has gotten a lot of attention recently and has shot up in value in the last few months. I mean, a lot of cards have, but that card has done really well in the last few months. Shaq Classics in 92, 4 Sports. Only I remember those cards. I was not a fan of them. I certainly remember them, but I just didn't. I thought they were ugly. Philly Fanatic, there's another one.
Yep.
1991 Topps Chipper Jones card. It's listed as a rookie card, but he didn't debut until 2 or 3 years later. Well, Chipper Jones also has a card in 91 Upper Deck, I believe, or 92 at the latest. So
yep, 91 Upper Deck. Yep.
And what was he pictured in there?
I know for the 91 Topps card, because I remember opening that in a pack, he was a first draft picks. I think that's what it was on the card. 91 Upper Deck, I remember as well. I don't know if maybe he's wearing like a shirt or something.
Simon brings up the 2001 Michael Jordan's first year Wizards rookie card. Well, I don't believe changing teams doesn't make you a rookie again, but I certainly think there's something to be said for your first, LeBron's first Lakers card or Jordan's first Wizards card. To me, those are collectible. Yeah. But they're not rookie cards.
To fans of the team especially, they're significant because if it's the first time your team gets that star player, that Hall of Famer type player, that's kind of cool. So for 91 Upper Deck, the Chipper Jones is actually in a form of a Braves jersey.
It is. Okay.
He is in a Braves jersey. It might be like a spring training or practice jersey of some kind, but it's a jersey of the Braves.
Braves. It's like Tom Brady has a ton of rookie cards that are not. They're like, what team was he? Michigan or something? Or was it Michigan?
Michigan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got a whole bunch. Like he's got 25 RCs. 20 of them are him in Michigan. Maybe 4 or 5 are him actually in Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
So another one, like for me, I want the Patriots rookie of Tom Brady, not a college team. I just don't care.
Those tend to be the higher end cards. Tended to get him in some kind of a Patriots uniform somehow.
Yes, they did. They did. The RC rabbit hole. Well said, Bobby. Well said. So Dave Kaplan says, but does rookie card even mean anything anymore when people are paying bigger money for best cards or rare autos or whatever? Mm-hmm. See, that's what I'm getting at when I say for myself, mm-hmm. I consider parallels of rookie cards to be rookie cards. I know nobody else does, but that's fine. I do, because to me they're better cards or best cards, or they're more valuable because they're rarer. They're nicer a lot of the times.
Yep.
So, but to Dave's question, does it even mean anything more? It does mean anything anymore. It certainly does, because so many people can't afford the very expensive cards, so they lean towards the commodity cards, the commodity rookie cards, because it's still that player's rookie card. And there's still so much love for rookie cards. When you get into guys, when you get into Michael Jordan, for example, and all the money that is spent on his exquisite rookie patch autos, $60, $70, $80,000 for a card that is 20 years into his career. Mm-hmm. Those are so rare, and they don't make them anymore. They command those big dollars. But you look at his rookie card, one just sold for over $400,000 in an SGC 10 holder. So my answer is yes, it does mean something, but the range of cards that can fit into that definition, I believe, is growing. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that answers what you're kind of getting at, Dave. What you go on to say, I think there is something to be said for collecting first auto cards. That's pretty cool too. I agree with that. And I've seen people kind of post cards and be like, this is his first autograph card. So I think that's cool too. What does this say? It will make the market grade the cards that should be graded, e.g., higher end inserts, parallels, etc. Yeah, hopefully that should be graded. People will be more selective. Hopefully they'll be more selective on the condition of these cards are getting graded. But then you're going to see people who are like, well, every card's a PSA 9 or a PSA 10 or a BGS 9.5 or 9. There's no more cards graded, modern cards graded lower than that. So how much do they really stand out?
One important thing to remember as well about the PSA thing is that if you're in the collectors club or whatever, there are still some options for like 10 or 12. I think they're $12 cards now. $12 a card in certain specific setups, and they reduced the minimums on some of the lower tiers. They just got rid of a lot of the bulk stuff. Like the super bulk stuff that's really low. Be aware there are still like $10, $15 options, depending on who you're doing it with, if it's a bulk group lot, whatever. Depends.
No, fair. Thanks for pointing that out. Is there a Gretzky card in a Blues uniform? Yes, there is. For sure. Yeah, there's several of them. Mm-hmm. Rookie cards, I think you say, will always have meaning. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul says there's a few of the Gretzky in a St. Louis uniform.
Totally true.
Brett Miles talks to Dave Kaplan, says, I think it means more for those coming to the hobby and looking for a lay of the land. The word rookie card has value. I agree with that. Frankie says, the hobby has a strange way of defining what a player's iconic rookie card will be. Yeah, I'd like to hear more on that. Oh, you do say more. Kobe Chrome is technically a parallel of the base top set, even if it was a different product.
Ooh,
interesting.
Hold on.
I know. Hold on, Carlos. One sec.
Go.
I'm just gonna give you. I'm gonna give you a layup here, Carlos, because Carlos has talked about this specifically on his channel, and I know you did specifically look at this case when you have two. You can have a card that comes out with a parallel that comes out of the same box, or the manufacturer will pull that parallel and make it its own release.
Correct.
And that's what Frankie's talking about here. Carlos, take it away.
Yeah. So you run into this. It's a murky thing, but I use the Topps Heritage example. I use that as an example of where it's inside the same pack. So you got the base Topps Heritage, and then you've got a Chrome version of Topps Heritage, and then the parallels. Let's just stick to the base and the Chrome, just to keep it simple. They have the exact same checklist, the exact same amount of cards, all the same players, all the same numbers, all the same everything. That's a parallel to me. But the thing is, to your point, and what you're bringing up here is that, but they put it in a different box and put it in a different product. They use the exact same design. That's totally fair. But then if you want to extend that into a parallel, like, again, we're back to the slippery slope thing. So then where does it stop? If it's not a product, well then, in theory, if we could agree on that, if we all did, well then why would you ever buy that product, especially for the rookie? Because it's always the parallel that you had to buy a separate box for.
To me, I don't know. I think where Frankie's statement we might need to talk about it more is where he says Kobe Chrome is technically a parallel. Is it really technically a parallel if it didn't come out of the same product? Now that's a question.
Yeah. We're getting into semantics though. What does parallel mean to you?
Well, no, we're getting into the semantics of the hobby though. It's not just the word parallel, right? So
I get it.
To me, if the parallel came out of the same pack, it's a parallel card.
Yep.
If it comes out of a separate product altogether, it's a parallel product. And I'm just thinking this through. I don't know if there's a difference. I think there is a difference because they were released differently. So there's a difference of some sort. Mm-hmm. But is that Chrome card still technically a parallel? Yeah. Or is it a different set altogether with its own rookie card status? Mm-hmm. To me, it's a rookie card, no doubt about it. And I own one. I mean, and I wouldn't own it if I didn't think it was a rookie card, no doubt about it. Yeah. I wouldn't.
And I think what makes it trickier, is that they use a completely different technology. They use the same design, they applied a different technology to it, which in turn changes the way it looks. That's the parallel side of the argument. Well,
but because what you're saying, it's a different product.
Yeah.
Altogether, so the technology is different, but the reason why we're talking about it being a parallel at all is because it's the same picture on all the cards. There's no difference.
The same design.
It's just a different layer of coating on top of the card to give it this awesome chromium finish.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff, Dave. Lest we forget, 52 top. Yeah, I mentioned that early in the episode. Again, it's not his rookie card. I agree, but the hobby seems to accept it as such. It's his first Topps card. That does not make it a rookie card. Rich, the Kobe might be more parallel product than parallel, just like the 80 Topps and O-Pee-Chee parallel sets. Everything in that's a good. That's a good comparison.
Correct.
That's actually the perfect comparison, I think, to the They're both.
Now, one point that I'll make as well, it's actually an excellent comparison, totally, because you'll have the same card in both of them with one logo versus the other. Yep. Sometimes, though, they did have different checklists depending on the sport. So it does make it a little different, but in terms of design, totally true. So if you look at the same card from the same player in both sets, they're going to look virtually identical outside of the logo and maybe the paper stock. But again, we're back to the same question.
Which is similar to the Chrome.
Correct.
The Topps Chrome.
Correct.
Discussion as well.
Yep.
I'm glad Rich brought that up. That's an excellent
very good point
out. And it's funny again, Carl, because like you mentioned, 89.90 O-Pee-Chee goes to what is it, 232 or something, and Topps goes to like 196 or something like that. So you've got these extra cards, but all the cards along the way I do believe are numbered the same. O-Pee-Chee just added more cards to the product.
And that murkies the waters on that whole parallel discussion because they've got nearly virtually identical design, but two different checklists.
But it's a parallel set up to a point, and then there's extra. So another iteration of this whole discussion.
So then what is it now?
What is it now? It's just another thing to consider, right?
Yeah.
Definitely hobby semantics. The Topps should be more important since it was the first product. Chrome is definitely more flat. See, that's another good point. Do we have to look at, see, in the old days, it's what came out first, but now every brand comes out every year in its particular slot within the annual program of the company.
You just brought up something interesting, though. I love that.
Hold on. Let me finish my thought. So, it's just really the great question is, does that then mean that the first set to come out every year is the rookie card for that player, and every other set that comes out after isn't?
Yeah.
Or is less of a rookie card?
Sure. Totally with you. So can I ask a question, Francisco? Let me ask you this question. So let's use baseball. So if you have the identical checklist, do you want the Topps flagship card or do you want Topps opening day?
He's a basketball guy. I don't know.
No, I get you. But Topps opening day is basically the same design.
Yeah.
But it comes out earlier because that's why it's called opening day.
It's like when you have a different product coming out at different times of the year, I believe they are each entitled to their own complete, genuine, full-out rookie card. But in hockey, we have Upper Deck Series 1, and then we have Upper Deck Series 2. And sometimes in Series 2, well, you do actually get in Series 2, you'll get a parallel canvas Young Guns of the player. And we consider that a rookie card because it's different. But if there was a second card that came out of a rookie, let's say they got traded midway and they put out an update card in the new uniform in the Series 2. Well, Series 2 is its own product. It's supposed to be a continuation of Series 1. Is that a rookie card, even though that player already had a card in Series 1?
Totally.
I mean, so many factors to consider.
So let me shift it into the hobby realm. So let me use the example you just used, Upper Deck, because we know that one. So we know Series 1, Series 2, we know Young Guns, we know all that. Imagine if Upper Deck lost its mind and decided to borrow the opening day concept. And the earliest part of the hobby calendar, they go and release an Upper Deck set that is retail only. It's Upper Deck Puck Drop, whatever. It's the exact same design as regular Upper Deck, but it's got a puck logo. And what they did is they put the full checklist, retail only product. It's got every single card that they're going to have in Series 1 and Series 2 already in this product. That's basically what opening day is. Now, in theory, that's a rookie. But then by your question here, then would Puck Drop be the only rookie? And what's flagship then? What's the Young Guns?
Yeah.
Becomes a problem, right?
This discussion is filled with problems, Carlos.
Yeah.
That's the one thing.
I'm just using an extreme example to illustrate the point.
I know. That's the one thing we can all agree on for sure. It has to be made up of matter, and the whole discussion is a big problem.
Yeah, that's right.
Here, Paul says, what about recent Upper Deck exquisite hockey releases that are released across different product lines? My opinion, rookie cards, because it's its own product. It's just distributed in a very creative and different way. Sure. Yeah. Just my opinion, and I'm not putting that on anybody, especially not.
Now you guys know why I love my little caveats so much. We were not going to reach consensus.
You need them. You need them.
I gotta have it.
You need them. Brom says 96-97 Chrome was also a retail exclusive. It wasn't even a hobby box. It has to be seen as a different product as it was intended for a different market.
Sure.
See, another.
I believe it.
Yeah, one more thing to consider, right? Lots of XRCs when it comes to Jeter, Upper Deck Minor League, Classic, etc. Excuse me, fair enough. Alex says, what about Kobe RC Topps Chrome Refractor? It has much more value than the normal one. That's pretty much what we're talking about, I would say.
I think though it's simpler, Alex. The only thing I would say to you is like, yeah, it's more valuable, but why wouldn't it be more valuable? It's a rare card. If you're a hardcore Kobe collector, you want the rare card, so you'd pay more money for it. It's not whether you consider it an RC or not, actually doesn't matter. It's just a really rare card. It's a cool card. Even if you consider straight parallel. If I'm a hardcore Kobe collector, I've already got the base rookie card. I want the refractor too, because it's sweet.
Yeah. Here's a question. Do you think a player's value is affected by their rookie cards featuring them in a different team's jersey? So example, a player gets traded early in the career, goes on to have a Hall of Fame career with a different team. I mean, gosh, that's a great question. I need some examples. My brain just isn't bringing me a ton of examples right now. Let's wait for some examples. I'm going to move on to something else for a minute.
Sure. Yeah.
Bobby says, O-Pee-Chee waited for trades. Dave says 330. That's right. 330 cards in the O-Pee-Chee set in 89.90. I think Topps went to 232, something like that.
That sounds about right.
MVP would be the top rookie cards every year. Yes, if that was first to come out.
Rich, if we agree to it, I'm happy with it. Let's let it all burn. It'll be funny. I love it.
Definitely a good comparison.
Yeah,
I think that was the opening day, Carlos.
Yeah.
As long as it is in the same season. Yeah, see, I agree with that. As long as it's in the same season. Jake says Topps tip-off is the comparison to Topps opening day.
Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that. That's perfect.
Thank you, Jake. That's where the hobby comes in and defines the more iconic rookie card. Yeah, right. What does the hobby want? The masses, I guess. And that's even, it's hard to tell, because is the hobby just going by what Beckett says, or is the hobby actually thinking for themselves overall? And I don't know the answer to that so much. I think the hobby is starting to think for themselves more. And part of that just has to do with all the content that's out there. All these commentators, myself included, Carlos included, and everybody else. We're just two of thousands that are out there kind of having these discussions in open forums, open to all sorts of input from anybody, right? Like, so we'll see. Time will tell. Dave says, I always thought that about rookie cards back in the day. First is best, so I dismissed the O-Pee-Chee Premier Jagger because it came out later in the year. Right, but that's and I can definitely put myself in those days, Dave. I remember them, and yeah, you didn't know at the time what that O-Pee-Chee Premier set was going to be, but now we know that it's a new set within the same sports card year. Mm-hmm. I mean, then you get into but you know what that brings up when products come out so late. Like you've got 1920 hockey products coming out after 2021 hockey products. Mm-hmm. To me, if the manufacturer says it's 1920, it's 1920. That's my opinion on that.
I just thought of an example for the Hall of Fame thing where a guy starts off on one team, gets traded early, and then has a Hall of Fame career. Brett Favre.
Oh.
Started off with the Atlanta Falcons. So all his rookies are Atlanta Falcons, and then very early ends up on the Green Bay Packers, wins a Super Bowl, has a long career. That's an example. And you know what? When he got hot, the people wanted the rookie card.
Yeah.
It wasn't an issue.
Here's another one. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Right?
Yep.
You see that for sure. What about Shaquille O'Neal? I mean, I know he played several years in Orlando and had some good years there, but I think he's more really remembered as a Laker at this point. At least he is for me.
His biggest prime of his career when he was like at the peak of his powers was as a Laker. That's where he's remembered. I just use the Favre example because it's the simplest one. Hall of Fame guy. Started off his career with one team and then spent the majority of his career with another team and then even played for a couple more teams at the end.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he's associated with one team that was not his rookie year.
Yeah. Terry confirms 1989 hockey was 198 cards in Topps. So we finally get there. 198 in Topps, 330 in O-Pee-Chee.
Big difference.
But those first 198 are all the same. That's
correct.
That's kind of the parallel piece of it there anyway. For guys like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and even Brett Favre for that matter, I don't think it matters. I think you want the rookie card.
No, it didn't for card. Iconic players. The collectors want their rookie card because they're top guys.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
Peter says here that Cup certainly pushes the in the same season line. I agree. They push it because of when the cards come out, but the cards come out so late to benefit the hobby so that there's less redemptions. And if you think about it, those cards are printed well earlier. They're printed in December the year before, right? They don't come out till October, November the following year, but it takes so much time to get those cards out to players and back, and it takes months and months. So to me, I don't even think they push it. I think it's just a circumstance. And like I said, if the card company says that's what they say, this is their set for that year, there's no questioning it. I don't. I've heard these discussions have been ongoing on Hobby Insider for years, and that's where I kind of just think you guys are just blowing smoke up the wrong tree there, because it's still that set. That set is still from that year. The stats are there. The cards were printed in the year, et cetera, et cetera. To me, it's a rookie card for sure, and still from that year. Brett says, I don't know if the jersey they're pictured in is a huge factor. Marcel Dion's one. Yes, for sure, he's one. He doesn't get much hobby love, but he's like the third or fourth all-time scoring leader in the NHL, a Hall of Famer, just didn't win any cups. But
I think the key is it didn't hurt. It didn't really hurt it in any way. It was going to be what it was going to be.
And people, that card, it does not affect it in my opinion at all. Jones, that being Chipper, is in a Braves minor jersey on his rookie card. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm a little behind in the comments here. Rich says it may depend on the original team. I always wondered if a Brett Hull rookie card on a Flames would outsell the one airbrushed to the Blues. I don't think it would matter, airbrushed or not. I think it's just that's the rookie card.
When he was at the peak of his powers, you would have wanted it anyway.
Yep. Bobby reminds us that Topps is distributed in the U.S. and O-Pee-Chee in Canada, and that's probably why O-Pee-Chee added more cards, and even why in 82, 83, 83, 84, we didn't even have Topps cards. We only had O-Pee-Chee. Topps wasn't even in the hockey game for those 2 years, but they did come back for the Yzerman rookie year in 84. Brom says, I think baseball muddles the waters even more, as it seems first Bowman designations in Bowman Chrome and Bowman Draft way more than the RC.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yep. It's just because the prospecting was so hardcore on it. Although one factor you may want to consider is that even though the Bowman Chrome and Bowman Draft and all those were printed in decent quantities, Topps flagship is printed in huge quantities. That's why I say, like, I've been studying the Soto a fair bit. The flagship card is very cool, but it's not like it's rare. It's available in abundance. The Bowman Chrome is probably printed less. So that helps value, like scarcity, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Joe, I like this comment from Joe. He says, shared rookie cards such as Pete Rose, Rod Carew, Nolan Ryan, Mike Schmidt, Carlton Fisk, there's several, have grown on me through the years. Tony Perez, there's a bunch of them. You know, me too, man. I've got to say me too. Now, that said, like, and I have a few. Like, I've got the Nolan Ryan. I've got the Mike Schmidt. I think I sold my Mike Schmidt, actually, but I still have a Carlton Fisk. The Johnny Bench is another one from the Nolan Ryan year. You know, I'm kind of with you. To me, they're the rookie card. So there's no arguing they are the rookie card.
Yeah.
If you're a rookie card collector, that's what you need.
Yeah.
That said, the 64 Pete Rose is a gorgeous card, way nicer than it. Although his rookie card has grown on me too. It's such that, you know, it's kind of what this shows. What the YouTube thumbnails are based on.
With the floating heads. I know.
The floating heads is based
I'm
on
the only one exempted from that because of the nature of my picture. I'm like, no, I actually get a body attached to the head.
Yeah, you get a body because it's just so much.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think the 64 Pete Rose is an amazing card.
Yeah.
The 69 Nolan Ryan is an amazing card. That's the card that the Topps Project 2020 was based on this year. Very cool card. So yeah, I think I'm with you basically, Joe. They do grow on me, but in a couple of cases, I want that second year card too. Another one is oh gosh, what's his name? The back catcher for the Thurman Munson. I believe I think he's the same situation where his second year card is the 72 with the black border, and it's super. The
black border 71.
71. So is his rookie card in 70 then?
1970, yeah.
70. And is it a shared card?
I believe yes. I have it in my set. I have to go.
I'm almost certain it is. It's another case where that second year card I think is way nicer than his rookie card, and it's a condition sensitive card. It's a beautiful, beautiful card.
On 71, they did a good job with the action shots.
Well, it
just made it look. Right? It made it look really cool. So to your point, Joe, I agree that a bunch of those cards you listed off are iconic. Rod Carew was 67, I want to say. Awesome card. Nolan Ryan, 68. Awesome card. Mike Schmidt, 73. Awesome card. But that Pete Rose card is ugly. 63, I think is so ugly. The set, I hate it.
It grew on me, man. I've got one, and I think it's awesome now.
I grew to load that set.
Yeah.
I had cards from, I just grew to load that set. I can't stand it.
Yeah. The other, Willie Stargell has his rookie in the same set, another Hall of Famer in there.
Yeah.
I think they're awesome. The other thing about the first solo cards for these guys is now they have that all rookie team logo on them. That's become very important in baseball, and I think it should be.
The trophies are sweet.
Brett confirms the Munson RC is shared.
Awesome.
Jeff McMahon says the Topps lose their NHL license in 82, 83, 83, or it's 82, 3, and 3, 4. I don't believe they lost their license. I think they just opted out of making cards, or they decided to just let O-Pee-Chee make them, and they would just kind of, because O-Pee-Chee was a sub-licensee of Topps.
Yeah,
that's how it actually worked.
Yeah, Bobby is going to be the correct answer on this, but I believe your concept's right. I believe
Bobby's there. He will know the answer for sure if they lost their license, but I don't think they lost their license. I think they just went with their sub-license for those years.
I don't believe so.
That must be what it was. Dave says Teemu Selanne, by the way, Teemu Selanne is my all-time favorite hockey player. His rookie card is in a Team Finland uniform. Yes, it is, which is really crappy for me because, I mean, the Winnipeg Jets 1.0 team, I mean, they came back via Atlanta in 2011 after leaving in 96 from Winnipeg. I would much prefer his rookie card was in a Winnipeg Jets uniform. It would mean a bit more to me. Right now, his 1991 Upper Deck rookie card in Team Finland jersey, is a card that you can't even get shipping on most of the time. And unfortunately, the card isn't that meaningful. I have one, and I think it's cool, but unfortunately, it's not. It came from that era, along with several other hockey Hall of Famers like Nicholas Lidstrom and Peter Forsberg, whose cards are also not worth anything. And in international competition,
they did a lot of those World Junior picture cards with the international jerseys, and that was a whole era for those guys.
And after that was done, the new rules came in where now you can't do that anymore. Although we might see an exception with Alexis Lafreniere this year.
We'll see.
In 1970 or the 1972 Topps Dr. J rookie is from when he was playing in the ABA, not the NBA. That's right. It's professional though, which is the key there. Still a professional league.
And it did eventually merge with the NBA, so that's a thing.
Here Dave says that Cal Ripken, another. So this is a case where, again, I'm a rookie card collector, all sports, and I needed a Cal Ripken Jr. rookie. I decided to go to the standalone. I believe it's the 82 Topps update. It's a beautiful card. Topps trade. He's standing with a bat over his head, a beautiful green background. To me, it's as beautiful as that 52 Topps Mickey Mantle. It's your perfect baseball card. And I prefer it too. Much prefer it.
It's a better looking card. It's a better looking card.
Terry thinks that Topps went into stickers for those 2 years, and that could definitely be the case.
Possible.
Billy raises the Tiger Woods rookie card, 1996 Sports Illustrated, 1997 Master Collection, or 2001 Upper Deck and SPA. For me, oh man, see, for me, I don't like those first two cards. They're not nice, and they're not shaped properly.
Okay.
To me, it's the 2001, even though we had cards in earlier years. But that's just what I would want for my collection.
Right.
I'm not even going to care what other people think or what. To me, it would take the place as a rookie card in my collection. But I don't care if it's not awarded the RC designation. To me, it's what I would want.
Yeah, well, there's no committee to award RC designations. I would say that the 97 Masters collection, I actually like the look of the card, but if I was going to take a card and just have it in my collection, mind you, if the 97 Masters collection was available, I would totally take it. But the 2001 Upper Deck and SPAs are cool looking cards. Like the SPA is a signed Tiger Woods card. It's actually a really sweet looking card in the vein of a Future Watch.
Oh,
it's pretty cool. It's a very cool card.
So is his regular Upper Deck rookie card a very nice looking card.
Yeah. And I remember the moment from the picture that they took in that card.
Oh, do you?
I remember watching it on TV when he was pointing at the hole when he was about to win another major.
Well, Dave Kaplan will remember this. I remember driving to the 7-Eleven on Academy, the 7-Eleven on Corden Avenue, Winnipeg, buying up Upper Deck golf packs, looking for that Tiger Woods card because you couldn't find them anywhere else. There were such hot cards back in the day. Packages, you should get them at 7-Elevens. Here, okay, Baz Silica, welcome, says XRC was used a lot in 86 to 89, Beckett and Baseball Card Magazine. It was a rookie card before players made the MLB, usually 1 to 2 years before the true rookie card, but XRC is deemed a first true card. Great, like fair comment. And sometimes when we get into these discussions, Carlos, and you and I do it all the time, it's sometimes nice to be brought back to what we were thinking of back in the day, even though I do say these things are evolving. Yeah. This does put it nicely into context what an XRC is supposed to be, a first true card. Interesting. Yeah. Rich says, I think someone brought this up before. This is a great point too. Does a buyback auto of a true rookie card change its RC status?
Okay.
I mean, to me, let me go first quickly.
Go ahead.
I mean, the card is the card is the card. It's now been autographed, repacked, and redistributed. But that card still came out of an original pack, apparently, in most cases, let's say. So to me, it still is a rookie card. But to me, I don't want it because it's not the way it came out of the pack. So it's not going to replace the rookie card in my rookie card collection. I may buy it and put it into a one-off or an inserts collection, but it's not, to me, it's not as good of a rookie card. But I think it's still a rookie card. What do you think, Carlos?
So I'm inclined to agree that it is still the rookie card. It's a slightly different example, but let me ask this. You know how Topps T206 came out and they would do buybacks of the original T206 cards, but encapsulated inside of this thing? It came out of a pack issue. It was inside of a thing, and they put it inside of this little holder, basically a card holder. To me, it's the exact same card. Now, mind you, in that case, you could cut it out and it would be a T206 again, exactly the same as before. In this case, you've autographed it, but if you autographed it at the time, if you got a Gretzky rookie that was autographed in 1979, is it not a Gretzky rookie anymore? It wasn't a buyback, but has it changed? Not really. It's still physically. We're back to matter. It's still matter. As a matter of fact, the exact same card.
Yeah. Well, that's just it, right?
Yeah. The matter hasn't changed.
Yeah. Bobby says he doesn't really know why Topps didn't do cards in 82 and 83 for hockey. However, they did issue stickers, so one can say hockey wasn't worth doing cards and stickers at the same time.
Yeah. But it also means they were licensed to do it.
Yes. No, they were for sure because they sub-licensed to Opeachy. So they Could have if
The
they
original
wanted
question
to.
was about whether the licensing was an issue.
Right. No,
Yeah.
it's certain.
Yeah, exactly.
That I'm
Yep, we're good.
quite positive it wasn't. Yeah.
Yep, we're good.
Bill says, so here's a player, a very lightly known player, but his name is Jordan Wheel in hockey. He has two different young guns in hockey. One is in Series 1 in an LA uniform, one in the update the update that came out in SPA products, which to me is still a Series 1, Series 2 product with Philadelphia. His early 15, 16 releases are LA, late releases as Philly. So I mean, two young guns, to me, the first one is the rookie card, not the second one, which is different than how I feel about here's Ziggy Palffy again, the Ziggy Palffy cards in 91, 92 Upper Deck, where he had two cards in the same set. I think they're both rookie cards. But here you have two cards in different releases in the same product year. I think the first one's a rookie card. Let's keep going, though. That one is kind of, I think is easier. Mm-hmm. And if Carlos isn't jumping in, I think he probably just agrees.
That one, I'll be honest with you, I'm comfortable with the first pack pulled one. Yeah. Because they didn't change the distribution method or do something weird with factory set or something that makes it trickier. I think it's more straightforward.
And I wonder why Upper Deck would even care to bring him out again and put young guns on there, because he was never a player that was really going to matter.
There's that one Jordan Wheel fan, Jeremy.
Yeah,
that one
Mrs. Wheel.
Who's been appeased.
What else we got here? Oh, Baz, thank you so much, man. Good to have you. Welcome again. Welcome back. So does that buyback rookie card apply to the 30th anniversary one-of-one Young Guns? So, man, to me, oh God, I don't know, name. That's a tough one. I mean, it's because it is a buyback, but now they've put like a seal in it. They put a one-of-one stamp on it.
Yeah, and they also stuck like a logo on it with foil.
Which is, yeah, see, but it's like putting an autograph on an autograph buyback. I still think that's a rookie card. Putting more material, more foil stamp on it, it's still that original card. Is it still a rookie card? I think it is, but it's tampered with now. It's altered.
Yeah. I guess maybe this is the best we can do. If it had not been Upper Deck doing it, I'd have a bigger problem with it. If it was some random third party doing it, it's like, okay, I consider that an alteration, like an alteration. But Upper Deck themselves did it for them. Actually, you know what? There's a good example of this. Same idea. In some of the Topps Heritage sets, you could get the old cards. They would buy them back, but they would actually put like a foil stamping on them to show that they're buybacks. Right. So it was an original card from like the 60s or the 50s or whatever, and then they would give it to you, but it would have a stamp on it to show as a buyback. That would be the analogy for that.
So what do you think? Is that a rookie card still?
I guess so, but I would say yes, but I wouldn't put a premium on it.
No,
let me put it that way.
I
wouldn't put a premium on it. I would
actually put a discount on it, because it's not the way it came out of the original pack. When I'm collecting for my personal collection of Hall of Fame rookie cards or rookie cards, I want it as it came out of the pack. So I think that for me, I'm not saying I'm taking away the RC designation from it. I'm saying I don't even want it. Never mind, what is it?
I will defer to the singular rule of rookie cards that it must be composed of matter. It is, therefore we're good.
Exactly. Okay, a couple more examples. Bobby, yes, confirms Topps owned the licensing.
Very good.
Thank you, Bobby. Paul says, who knows? Maybe Jordan Wheel was an injury away from being the next. No, he wasn't. We know that's not it, Paul. But his mother appreciates your comment.
I love that Jeremy is so intent on this Jordan Wheel. This is where he wants to bury somebody. Like, no, Jordan Wheel was never going to be good. I think I think there's some kind of an issue here, and there's an underlying question that needs to be asked about this one. Go ahead.
Simon, loving the debate, and you know what? This is about as heated as that we've ever gotten on After Hours.
Right.
We being Carlos, is your third time on the show.
Yep.
It's almost the most heated I've ever gotten on the show at all. But it's because it's really at the core of the hobby. Rookie cards are so important in the hobby. And, someone asked earlier, like, why are they so important? Like, they just are. And I've seen people really poop on second year cards. Like, why do people care about second year cards? Well, it's funny because second year cards are still made, right? They still represent the player. They're still early in the career. Why is first year so much more important than second year? I emphasize on purpose there, but I understand why. But are second year cards not more important than third year cards, which should be more important than fourth year cards? And at what point does it just not matter anymore? A lot of people think it doesn't matter after first year cards or rookie cards. I like some second-year cards. I think second-year cards are cool. I remember in the 80s and 90s, second-year cards were very important in the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What might have changed now is it's like first Prism card or first Cup card or first Bowman Chrome card. Like those are kind of what's become more important today versus second-year cards. Because back in the day, there was nothing else in a rookie year. There was only one set.
I get the idea, but one thing I'll say about that really quickly is that is the case now. Because it's hard to say if it would matter if okay, let me give you a quick example that applies here for baseball. 1993 was the first Topps Finest set. To me, that was a significant set.
Just waving good night. Amit made a few comments here. Amit, if you're still there, I do see you. Good to see you, buddy. Oh, he says, I want that hat. $100, man. $100. No,
nice.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, no, all I was going to say was the 93 Topps Finest was the first year of Topps Finest. And to me, that was a very significant piece of technology, the first chromium set. Also, the first like super duper premium set, because Upper Deck raised the bar. And then in 93, Topps Finest was a $4 a pack set that quickly became higher because they became so popular they couldn't hold them without raising the price. Today, Topps Finest is not so significant. So and remember, Topps Finest was like the deal because those Topps Finest refractors from 93 are still a big deal. But after some time went, and some of those early Topps Finest sets were awesome, but eventually the hobby kind of soured on them. So like when you get your rookie card, that's the Topps Finest, it's not the premium card. It's not so great. If the same thing happens with Prism, you won't care about the first Prism card. Not nearly as much.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there, just for context.
For sets that are important, I think it, and Prism is going to go down as an important set. So
but that's the thing. Topps Finest is an important set, and it's still being done today. It's not like it stopped.
No.
But for some reason, we don't care about the first Finest card to the same degree.
Why? And the distinction there, Carlos, might be that Topps has been making baseball cards for decades, whereas Panini wasn't making cards for basketball before 2012, I don't think. So it was like the first kind of flagship set by a major company in a new sport. And maybe that, but you don't like, we don't care about first SP authentic cards for players, right?
So all I'm saying is we'll see. Because right now we don't have enough of a timeline to be able to say definitive. Because if Prism falls out of favor, if they produce sets that become less popular as we go along, it would hurt some of that concept because some collectors would sour on it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm with you on that completely. I think and with that specific example being Panini Prism basketball, I think that set is so entrenched now as an important landmark set that people love, and it's beautiful. It really is a nice looking set.
I believe it.
I think in that case, we do have enough timeline behind us now. We're almost 10 years in. I think we do, but that's okay. Like Simon says, sort of a debate, but sort of not. We're just building ideas here is what I really, at least I know that's my intention, is trying to build some ideas and even make them to make more sense to me so I can get more comfortable with all this. Amit, who is probably gone by now, he's been lurking, but is too sleepy. Great first half of the show. Great last call at After Hours. Thank you. Yeah, I have the last call up. That was Carlos's idea. When we get after an hour on After Hours, it's last call. And so the lights are on, you're looking for somebody to take home with you, and that's the end of the show. What's this, Billy, about does Eichel? I don't know about does Eichel have okay, you're talking about Robert Eichel versus Jack Eichel, maybe? Robert Reichel was his name. I'm not sure what you're getting at there, but that's okay. We're going to skip it.
Okay, I think I understand the question. I think based on with this description here, he's basically saying there are future watch rookies with half being autographed. Because that, regardless of who the player is, it's
he's just got the year wrong. He's
that's what I was saying. Like the concept is of a print run where some of them are autographed and some of them are not. And all I'll say about it is it's tricky. Maybe this would be a good analogy for this. And we'll use Jake since we had imagine if the PMG had actually been a set of some kind and you had 100 card print run, obviously whatever, but just stick with me on this. You got the red ones and you got the green ones. So are both the red and green ones would be considered a rookie card if that was an actual base set of some kind? That would be interesting because it's part of the same print run. They're part of the same numbering, low number, same part of 2/100, but there is a red version and a green version. I leave that as an open-ended question because you could have that for a bigger set.
And I got to apologize, Carlos. I'm not really tuned in right now because I'm still thinking about the question. In that, what happened in this case with Jack Eichel is that Leaf had the autograph exclusive on him, so Upper Deck couldn't put his autograph.
Sure.
So they did cards in 15-16 called Future Watch without an autograph, and then they re-released them in 18-19 with autographs.
Yep.
And the back of the card, where it tells you what set it's from, it doesn't say 18-19. It still says 15-16.
Yeah.
So in 10, 20 years from now, people are going to have a hard time knowing what, unless it's documented, which it obviously is documented. But people, I don't think they're going to care down the road that the autograph rookie card didn't come out until 2 years later. And I also believe that Upper Deck printed those in 15-16, but couldn't get them autographed until later. And that's why they say 15-16 on the back. And I think that was confirmed, actually.
Yeah, it's a more complicated version of the buyback without it being a buyback.
Yeah.
It's basically like that.
I like this comment from Gregor as he says, this debate is so much better than the president's debate. I love it.
Oh, that's a little bar to hit, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a little. Amit wants this hat signed. Okay, Amit, you got it, buddy. You got it. And then
150 for the signed version.
Then he said, "Good night." I only had 12 of them done. I'll do some sort of merch program for the 5 or 6 people that actually want hats from Sports Cards Live. I'll be happy to comply. I like this one. So this is a card where you've got an NHL player named Sylvain Turgeon who played in the 80s and the 90s, and he has a card. It's not a rookie card. It's a card from the 90s. Yeah. But in that card, in the background, in the stands, is Patrick Kane.
Yeah, it's cameo.
And saying he's seen people call that Patrick Kane's rookie card. That's pretty funny. It clearly isn't his rookie card. It's not his card. Mm-hmm. It's Sylvain Turgeon's card. So it doesn't even have his name on it. But it's still a cool oddball card that I think is worthy of a collection for sure. Huh. How about a photo of Jeremy wearing the hat signed? That's hilarious. I like that, Brett. Prism is not MLB sanctioned. Not sure why they have much value. I consider them subpar for baseball, no logos. Yeah, I hear that. It's not licensed for baseball in 2012, 13, but it was for basketball. So that conversation we were having earlier about Prism, for me, only applied to basketball, did not apply to baseball.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, I see what Peter's clarifying. He is saying the 999 auto
and 999
not auto, 1998 total cards made. Yeah, thanks, Peter. I didn't catch
so it's like a half and half. Gotcha.
That makes sense. I get it now, Billy. That makes sense. In basketball, Topps Chrome and Topps Finest have had a renaissance, and a big part of the appeal of Donruss Optic is their throwback look to Topps Chrome from the 90s. Yeah. And also to the early 90s Donruss sets. The Donruss Optic looks a lot like that set, just in design.
Because they borrowed a lot of it, rated rookie logos and all that stuff. Right. Yep, absolutely. Yep. And
Billy, yes, sorry, and thank you for clarifying again, but I do get it. So to me, Billy, they are all rookie cards. To me, the Eichel cards that came out of the 18-19 packs autographed, to me, are rookie cards. And I know I'm in the minority there because they came out of 18-19 packs, not 15-16 packs, but that's where I maintain I'm entitled to my opinion. I'm not putting it on the rest of the hobby. I'm not projecting it out there, but to me, they're both rookie cards. And I have one of my best hobby friends in the world lives here in Calgary, and we we hang out all the time, blah, blah, blah. To him, he sees it the other way. He does not. He wants the original card in his set that came out in 15-16.
Okay.
So maybe say loving the banter as opposed to the debate. Sure. I mean, it's a debate. It's a banter. It's brainstorming, whatever it is. It's discussion, and we're having fun. And thank you for joining us as always, Simon. Eric, same to you. Appreciate you joining. Gregor is a bit of a ha. Appreciate that, man. Carlos, we're well into last call, 33, almost 34 minutes into it. If there's no more comments, guys, and there aren't right now, I think we're gonna call it a night. I'm gonna say, Carlos, thank you for joining me. Always a pleasure to have you. You have lots to say, and like you've said, the later you go, the more you have to say, and I've learned that about you. So, thank you so much. Couple comments. Billy says, would definitely buy a hat to support the hours of free content. Thank you, Billy. We'll figure something out. Greg says, I found a box of hockey cards I got from my neighbor the night after Charles was on. after hours, went through it with him, and unfortunately they aren't worth anything. Well, at least you did that. I appreciate that, Greg, and thank you for referencing Charles, who was my youngest guest ever at 15 years old and a great collector, one of the guys who really makes me think the future of the hobby's in good hands. Frankie, a pleasure to have you, man. I loved you on Jake's show. Thank you for joining. Paul, good night to you in an old wine box. Awesome. Thank you, Rich. Great after-hour show. Love the whole conversation. Great to have you. Thank you for your interaction. Brett, great to see you. Thank you for joining in on the interaction. Carlos, thanks to you. Guys, be back Wednesday with Sports Cards Live. We got the CEO of Collectible, Ezra Levine. That's going to be an interesting conversation on fractional share ownership in cards. And then next Saturday, we've got Drew Herndon, who is the host of Let Me Get That Potograph and a co-host of Hobby Hotline on YouTube. And a good guy who I appeared on his podcast a couple of weeks ago. And I think we had a great show. So thanks. That comment from Bill for the Eichel. The footer says, oh yeah, right. The footer says 1516, but the copyright date in small print is 2019. Interesting. I did not realize that.
I'm going to use the buyback clause on that from the earlier part of the discussion. It's the same as putting a stamp on it. We'll never know for sure if it was physically printed at the same time. We have to assume because that's what Upper Deck claims.
But the copyright says 2019.
You can print over it. It's the same way as slapping on some foil. If you print over it and you physically take the same card and print over it,
they're not printing over them though, because they're not printing over them because they're a part of sheets. They wouldn't.
And then you're saying that they printed it after the fact, and it's a different deal.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think that is saying.
We're back to the matter, Jeremy. We're back to the matter. Different matter.
Exactly. Simon says, thanks, Jeremy and Carlos, as usual, from a happy hobbyist from the other side. I love having you, Simon.
Thanks, Simon.
Thank you for tuning in all the way from Australia. Greg, good night to you. Bobby, thanks for tuning in. We'll get you back on After Hours very soon. Guys, I'm going to hit end broadcast. Carlos, you'll wait right there for a minute. Everyone else, good night. And
thanks,
thank you. Thank you again for joining us. It's been fun.